It is Valentine's Day and it is time to transplant. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been with me before, welcome back. My name is Caleb Warnock, and I have 10 geothermal greenhouses in my backyard, and I filmed this video on Valentine's Day 2025. I am transplanting some of my seedlings out of this mini greenhouse. This is a mini cold soil greenhouse. I'm transplanting them into into one of my 40-foot cold soil greenhouses, and that's what we're doing in this video today. Thank you for letting me just share my journey with you, and if you guys have questions about greenhouses, geothermal greenhouses, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been growing food year-round in geothermal greenhouses for 20 years, and I get questions from people about how do I transplant, when do I transplant. Of course, you don't have to transplant, but I just had space in here, so I planted quite a bit, and now it's time to transplant it into a bigger greenhouse. So come with me and we'll take these little seedlings over to the 40-foot greenhouse and put them into the soil. What I'm doing is transplanting red oak leaf lettuce that I grew from seed in the greenhouse, and Thai Sai Asian greens. Here's some others that I transplanted a few days ago out of that same greenhouse. And this is more red oak leaf lettuce and red Russian kale and prize choy. And let's see what we've got. We've got space in here, I think. Yes, we do. We have space in here. Clean this up a little. It is dripping. I don't know if you guys can see that it is dripping in here. So it's above freezing, finally. It's been days since it's been above freezing. And this soil is pretty dry. So I really should It's got so cold in here that this is ice. It's all frozen. I mean, the soil's not frozen. And the plants are not frozen. And this is an old style of greenhouse that we don't build anymore because it is not as well designed as it could be and should be. Now I'm going to have to remove these plates of ice so that I can plant in here. Moving ice so that we can plant. Let's see if we can get some with no ice this time. This was where my autumn planted carrots were. And fact, we should take this label off. If you saw one of my earlier videos, I came in and gathered those carrots, and then I don't know, that's probably been 2 weeks or something. Look, there's a whole other sheet of ice. We gotta move this ice. And since this is so dry, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. I mean, I don't want to put too much water, but it's pretty dry. Oh, can you guys hear that? Drip, drip, drip. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's snow covering the whole building. There's more ice. Okay. Then we're going to take these and gently separate them so that we don't rip the roots off. And plant them, transplant them into this good box. Separate, separate, and then we've got a little more taisai here. Lettuce, taisai, lettuce, a tiny little baby taisai. Taisai is mild. Oh, look, more ice. Taisai is mild and tender, and it's good for salads and stir fries. And lately, I've just been eating it as salad. Mostly because I can never think of what meat to put into a stir fry. I don't know why. I need to go to the Asian market and get some traditional stir fry meat, I guess, but there's no Asian market near me. Oh, so that's a... Okay, so now this we need to tease apart, because we don't want to break the stems and we don't want to damage the root. And I can put this as close together as I want, because I'm a big believer in thinning by eating. So as these get large, I can come in and remove whole plants, because these are going to be spaced too close together for mature lettuce. Of course, lettuce tastes best really before it ever gets mature, so okay. Now, let's go to the other greenhouse, and maybe I'll switch this for this. I might need a Might need a little larger container. So that was the cold greenhouse we were just in. Hi, polar bear. Hi, polar bear. Hi, polar bear. Polar bear wants to know, who am I talking to and what exciting thing are we doing? Oh, there's Bella. Hi, Bella. So it's not as filled with light in this greenhouse as we would like for filming, but so what I wanted to do is, these belong to my friend Linda, and I thought it would be, and I probably should ask her, but I'm sure she would say yes, that I could steal a couple of these. So Linda is my longtime friend and member of my garden club, and I'm going to take 3 of those, Linda. That's Bloomsdale spinach that was started from seed in this container, and then she's going to take some of that home. There's the label. And she is waiting for me to build her a cold frame. Actually, not a cold frame, a greenhouse, a mini greenhouse. And this is butter crunch lettuce. And she's got tons of it. So I'm just trying to gently take a piece of that. And then she started these yellow storage onions, and they are just starting to come up. And I just took red oak leaf lettuce out of my own greenhouse, so I don't need to take this one, plus this one is not as crowded. And here's dwarf blue Siberian kale. Oh, and that's not as crowded. And I have some more of that in here. And then these are fruit tree seeds that I just saved, that, you know, when it gets warm, I'm hoping maybe they'll come up. And then these Green Beauty snow peas, I think I should just transplant this whole thing. This actually is mine. See, when you have greenhouses, you can share with your friends. And here's Lucky Natto kale. I'll probably let that get a little bigger before I transplant that. And then here's sugar and peas. This belongs to a different friend of mine. And I noticed that these little Roman camomiles are coming up right there. Can you see that? Right there, 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 right there. Little baby Roman camomiles coming up. And some fennel has come up. And today is Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, so pretty extraordinary to be able to, I mean, this is why we love a geothermal greenhouse. So I'm going to take both of these are sugar and peas and Green Beauty snow peas and butter crunch lettuce and Bloomsdale spinach. And then there is a bunch of other things here. There's a bunch of broccoli, but that's not really transplant size yet. This is arnica, but that's not really arnica, I don't think. Those two sprouts don't look like arnica to me. Arnica is so hard to sprout from seed. Helichrysum, wormwood, skullcap, lady's mantle. I don't see any of those coming up yet. This is January king cabbage, which is doing great, but needs a little more time before we transplant it. Tomatoes, and self-heal. The tomatoes are not up yet, and the self-heal is not up yet. And most of these are not up yet. Most of those are tomatoes and peppers. So let's go. And not much else going on right there. And that's going to stay there. So let's go do these. It's just so nice to be able to go outside and do something. My friends say that motion is lotion, so everything feels better when you move. So it's nice to be able to go do something physical that I like to do. It's not the world's greatest exercise or the most strenuous exercise, but I'm not really looking for the most strenuous exercise. I'm just looking for movement. Okay, we're going to have to decide what to do with those peas. Probably put them in a different thing from these lettuces. Boy, these lettuces are so little. And let's take these spinaches. Should I put them, even though you guys saw me pour all this water into here, look, when I pull that back, it is still dry down there. So I'm going to have to put more water in here. And then see if we can pull out these lettuces without damaging them. I'm doing a good job, if I do say so myself. This is the butter crunch lettuce that I stole from my friend Linda. So we need to just kind of gently pull this apart. And as I said, this is really tight planting, but why not, since I've got so many, why not just plant them fairly tight and then prune by eating? Or thin by eating. I guess it's not really pruning, is it? Trying to just get that out of there without breaking it. See, these got planted so tightly together that the roots are intertwined. So we just want to, of course, these seeds are seedrenaissance.com seeds. Oh, now see, that plant has broken right there, so that's not going to work. Good. Ta-da! We're almost there. And plant those two together. That one's kind of damaged. To be careful moving these so they don't get damaged. Okay. So we need some water. See if we can now. Oh, look, my onions are coming up. That's great. That's great. So I should probably put some peas in here. So maybe what I'll do is, I think I have labels over here and a label pen. And peas have deep roots, so I have to be careful. Oh, I should probably put water in here. Maybe I will just take this . And hopefully okay. And then they will just live out their lives right here. Hopefully I didn't damage that. Weeds. Well, that's just dry. That soil is just dry. Obviously, we're going to have to put more water on here. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess the only place left is right here. These are transplants I did a few days ago out of that same greenhouse. And this box has been planted with golden sweet peas and gold beets that have not come up yet. And this box could be planted. And this box has wine cap mushrooms in it. And these are peas and fava beans. And this is my Japanese maple. And my poke bush. And the yellow storage onions, the yellow Spanish Colorado number 6. Okay, and then where should we put the Green Beauty? Let's make a label. And maybe we'll just put the Green Beauty in here. It says that there's curled cress planted in here, but I don't see curled cress coming up. It also says there's Heartsease Violet planted in there. Maybe I shouldn't plant it in there. Shoot, probably I should not plant that in there, which means we're going to have to scrape that off. Because I don't want to mess up my violets. This says it's also got Heartsease Violets in it. This has got Baskets of Gold in it. This has got lettuce and beets and caraway thyme, which are these plants right here, which were given to me by one of my clients, and rhubarb, and more Heartsease Violets. Well, how many Heartsease Violets do we need, possibly? I'll put these in here. They're already sitting here, so I might as well pop them in here. All right, that's not working. You may wonder why this is in an old juice container, but me and my friends just keep whatever we can to plant in. Okay. Drip, drip, drip. I love it when the greenhouse is dripping, because that means we've had some water. Okay. Water. Now, I hope these didn't get watered in too heavily. They're they don't like to be like that, where they're kind of pinned to the ground. So I didn't do a perfect job of watering these in. So I'm just going to try to release them a little bit. Those look good. These look good. This one looks like it needs just a little pushing like that, so it can stand up straight. And then I think we're done. Where did I put my... This I brought here with me, and I want to take it back out. I guess that can stay there for a moment. Or, I don't know, I guess I could just take it with me. Maybe I'll put it in here because I don't really see myself doing any more starts inside the house or inside the other greenhouse. I mean, inside a container. I mean, these were in the house when we planted them from seed, but we brought them immediately out to the greenhouse. But I think because it is now Valentine's Day and the coldest part of winter is over, that any other seeds that me or my friends plant at my house will probably just be planted directly in a greenhouse. Also, I kind of had to start those because I still hadn't completely harvested that greenhouse that we were just in, but I have harvested everything and sort of cleaned it up and made room, as you saw. There are some things in that greenhouse that need to be transplanted. But that's probably a different job.